Now I would like to say a few words in English. Today, dear brothers and sisters, we have feast day of St Vladimir. And the church calls him a second Constantine for the church. What Saint Constantine and Helen meant to the Greek church of the 4th century, that is what St Vladimir and his wife Anna, and of course Babushka, Olga, along with Olga, meant to the Slav church in the 10th century. The apostle St Andrew, Apostle Andrei, первозванный, the first called, as we know, dear brothers and sisters, he planted a cross on Slav soil. And we know that at present time there is in Moscow the cross, the part, of course, of the Holy Cross of St. Andrew in Moscow. And I heard that people are trying to come and venerate, to kiss the Holy Cross. And the line is like for 2-3 kilometers. В Москве сейчас находится крест Андрея Первозванного, на котором был распят святой Андрей Первозванный. И большие очереди в Москве для того, чтобы приложиться и поклониться этому кресту святого Андрея, апостола Андрея Первозванного. Почему его называют Первозванным? Потому что он был первым, кого Господь позвал себе в апостолы. The seed have been planted early by St. Andrew, but it was not until the time of Vladimir, almost 900 years later, that the tree grew and bore abundant fruit. The princess Olga was a Christian, we know, having been baptized in Constantinople and having the Byzantine emperor for a godfather. Византийский император стал ее крестным отцом. And an ancient writer says of her that she was the forerunner of Christianity in Russia. Like St. John the Baptist, forerunner, St. John the Baptist was a forerunner, то есть предтеча для Христа, так и она явилась предтечей для христианства в России, in Russia. Olga had, of course, a big influence, то есть большое влияние on her grandson, Vladimir, but not enough to make him a Christian in his early life. Vladimir was a pagan, язычник, pagan, believing in the gods of nature. Что такое pagan? Это язычники. Язычники, значит, которые веровали в солнце, в луну, в тельца, в кого угодно. And Vladimir was dissatisfied in the darkness of paganism, and he began to seek for the light of true religion. It is said that missionaries of various religions came to call on him and tried to convert him to their respective faith. Like Muslims came, Hebrews, Roman Catholics, Greek Christians, so from all over they wanted him to belong to them. Before making a final decision, Vladimir sent his delegates to visit the countries of these faiths or religions. And when they arrived to Constantinople, so they were invited to the church of St Sophia, and they were witnessed, they prayed during the Divine Liturgy. In this great cathedral church of St Sophia in Constantinople, and of course it's a beautiful church. I was never there, but I went through some книги, журналы, читал и видел фотографии. So, and we know that the walls of that church or cathedral, they are covered with mosaic icons, precious stones, and lots of gold, as usually it is. Because people try to give the church, to give to God the best. And of course, those delegates, they were impressed. And when they returned back to Kiev, to Vladimir, they said, when we stood in the temple, we did not know where we were standing. There is nothing else like it on earth. So there is nothing else like it on earth. There is, there in truth, God has His dwelling place with people. То есть Бог, действительно Бог присутствует среди этих людей. We can never forget the beauty we saw there. So, and with these words, the delegates came to St Vladimir. Vladimir was convinced, то есть убежденный был, убедили его, but before accepting Orthodox Christianity, he, of course, went against the Byzantium. Пошел войной на Константинополь. He conquered a Greek city and then demanded the emperor's sister for a bride. То есть хотел жениться. И женился на сестре императора Константинопольского. In the year 988, Vladimir was baptized and then married in a Christian ceremony in Kherson. То есть в Херсоне его покрестили, и там он женился на сестре императора Анне. So, like I said in Russian, he decided also to baptize Kiev, and of course, as many people as he could. He started, and he was quite successful. He started in 1988, but a year later, 988. A year later, 989,000 were baptized in the river Dnieper, river by Greek priests. So, St. Vladimir brought a lot of priests and bishops from Greek. They built a lot of churches. He established schools where the new Christian faith could be taught to the people. So, as you heard, churches, schools, and of course, monasteries were organized everywhere, everywhere. The rich Byzantine culture came to bring a new civilization to the Slavs, to Slavic people. Prince Vladimir, or St Vladimir, died July 15th by the old calendar, and July 28th, like today, in 1015, to is 1015. В 1015 году он скончался. And he came to be known in the church as equal of the apostles, что переводится на русский язык. Святая Церковь его именует равноапостольным, equal of the apostles. Great indeed is the devotion of the Slavs to his saint. Many Russian and Ukrainian churches are named in his honor. In Kiev, by the way, there is a nice, huge cathedral of St Vladimir. Unfortunately, that church is now with the so-called Patriarch Philaret. We know that in Ukraine, church split in two churches, and he took with himself that big, huge cathedral of St Vladimir. One church historian has said that the conversion of the Slav peoples was the mightiest conquest or victory, you can say, of the Christian church since the time of the apostles. If this is so, then much of the credit for this victory for Christ must be given to the man who grew up in the darkness of pagan belief, but who found that Christ is the light of the world, Christ who came to enlighten every person. So, St Vladimir ranks равняется. St Vladimir ranks with the great missionaries who have gone to teach all nations, like apostles, for example, as was the express command of Christ before he returned to his heavenly Father. Идите и учите все народы, крестящие их во имя Отца и Сына и Святого Духа. Аминь. Заповедал Иисус Христос своим апостолам, а в лице святых апостолов, епископам, священникам и всем нам, дорогие братья и сестры, распространять веру Христову, не стыдиться говорить, где бы то ни было, о Христе. И вот святой Владимир уподобляется равно как апостол. Святая Церковь его именует равноапостольным. Today we pay honor to the memory of this soldier of Christ, Saint Vladimir. Аминь. Благодарю за внимание. В имя Отца и Сына и Святого Духа. Аминь.